Hello, welcome. My name is William Sabule. Today is the 25th day of March 2022. It's a very wet Friday here in Rivers State, Nigeria. That's where we're broadcasting from. And if you're seeing this video for the first time, you're on to the newspaper review here on Tab TV. This is where we bring you the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. And if you'd love to participate, that's very easy. First, you need to subscribe to this channel. And of course, click on your notification. That's going to help you get notified whenever we come online. We're also on other social media handles. We're on Facebook as Tab TV. On Instagram is tabtv_NG. And on Twitter, it's at Tab TV. So do also engage with us on any of this platform as you drop your comments and your reactions. Let's go to the headlines for today, the 25th day of March. Stay with me. I'll be right back after this short break.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
You are welcome back. Let's begin the readings of the headlines from This Day newspaper for today, the 25th day of March 2022. And on This Day newspaper, we see the headline here. In-depth political move, Buhari's men set to dominate incoming APC National Working Committee. In-depth political move, Buhari's men set to dominate incoming APC NWC. All right, other headlines on This Day newspaper here we see Wike, not a man of integrity, unreliable, says governor's various public statements open his character to question. All right, if you need to see details of that, please pick up a copy of This Day newspaper. We also see other headlines here. Running on national mood, Peter Obi joins presidential race, promises to lift country out of poverty. He's in politics out of sacrifice, says Babangida Aliyu. All right, moving on, we go to Vanguard newspaper, and on Vanguard newspaper here, as the major headline, we see $3.27 billion crude lost to thieves in 14 months. Federal government cries out. $3.27 billion crude lost to thieves in 14 months. Federal government cries out. Reads riot act to oil thieves. Crude theft mostly from burning brass for Cardo's terminals. NUPRC says there, malls crude transportation by trucks. It's organized crime, says IOCs. 82% of production lost in February. IPPG speaking there. Troops destroy 49 illegal refineries, arrest 70 oil thieves, vandals in Niger Delta. That's the headquarters, that's defense headquarters speaking there. Say reps invite Silver Kyari Ahmed orders over state of refineries. So you find details of all of that story on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Other stories here on Vanguard newspaper, we see strike worsens varsity education, pro-chancellors tell federal government. ASU. Strikes worsen varsity education, pro-chancellors tells federal government. ASU. That story you see on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. And let's go on to other stories. Still here on the Vanguard newspaper, we see at the bottom part there. APC convention, how Adamu emerged consensus candidate. APC convention, how Adamu emerged consensus candidate. EFCC releases Obiano 1 week after arrest, seizes passport. You find that story on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. All right, moving on, we go to Nigerian News Direct. And on Nigerian News Direct here, we start from the top part of that newspaper. We see NAF to leverage on Spain's air power technological capabilities. I beg your pardon, let me take that again. NAF to leverage on Spain's air power technological capabilities. State of the nation, there is danger. We must reform Nigeria now. I'll take it again. State of the nation, there is danger. We must reform Nigeria now. Tinubu speaking, says Nigeria cannot dare to predicate economic destiny on diminishing oil utility. His views are thought-provoking, Sanwo-Olu. So that you'll find on page 2 of Nigerian News Direct. Other stories here on Nigerian News Direct at the bottom part. We see APC leadership tussle. Fayemi dares Buhari, denies knowledge of any consensus agreement. All right, so do well to pick up a copy of Nigerian News Direct to get the full details of the stories read. We'll move on to the Daily Sun newspaper for today, the 25th day of March, 2022. And the major headline on Daily Sun newspaper says, APC chair supports swells for consensus. Supports swells for consensus like governors, National Assembly members. Caucus backs Buhari's candidate. President asked lawmakers to shun squabbles, distractions. At the top part of Daily Sun, we see Silva, Irabo, Kumalafe read riot act to oil thieves. Say criminals' days numbered as Kyari expresses confidence on containment. Military destroys 49 illegal refineries in Niger Delta. Arrest 70 oil thieves. Orders. So you find details of that story on page 4 and 29 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Other headlines here on the Daily Sun newspaper, we see zoning. PDP gives clue on expectation from panel. Ultimate is how party will return to power. Ultimate is how party will return to power. IU tells members. Southern Middle Belt leaders back PDP governors. And we go on to see this headline too. It says, ex-Anambra Governor Peter Obi joins presidential race amid traditional rulers' endorsement. And just under that, we see second Niger bridge attains 91% completion, federal government. That story is on page 7 of the Daily Sun newspaper. All right, we move on to the Punch newspaper. And on the Punch newspaper, the major headline here says, APC convention, Buhari battles last-minute crisis, summons governors, chairmanship aspirants fail to agree. Tinubu, ex-governor Akande meets president in Villa over Omishore's choice as secretary. Ruling party bars political appointees from Saturday's national convention. So you find all of that story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And at the top part of that paper, we see Aim, Tambowal, Bauchi governor, peak presidential forms, consult on consensus. And on that same front page, you see the picture of the police vans, trucks that were recently commissioned by the IGP. And the headline reads as IG distributes 253 trucks, APC, other vehicles, uniforms to formations. All right, and that story you see on page 9 of the Punch newspaper. That's where you get details of that story. All right, Fashola restates second Niger bridge 2022 completion date, blames IPOP. You see that on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. All right, so pick up a copy of the Punch newspaper to get the full details of that story. Next, we'll go to the Nigerian Tribune. And on the Nigerian Tribune, as the major headline, we see APC convention, consensus arrangement faces threat. APC convention consensus arrangement faces threat. Governors move to pacify aspirants over Adamu. How Buhari adopted regional stakeholders, micro-zoning. President meets with Tinubu, Akande, Okorocha, El Rufai orders, tells Nas caucus to avoid squabbling. Unity list out today, Senate President. All of that you see on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And we see other stories here. Reps, political appointees to stay clear of party primaries. INEC to implement Section 84, subsection 12 of Electoral Act. House says. That's on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. And lastly, I'll take this headline. It says, PDP inaugurates zoning committee. Presidential aspirants embark on consensus dialogue. Our party has a tradition of zoning. Are you? Bala Ayim Tambo will pick presidential form. Peter Obi declares to run, says, I am contesting to secure Nigeria. And you find all of that story on page 28 and, of course, on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. So do well to pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune and get details of that story. Next on the program is our discussion segment. Stay tuned, and don't forget you can also participate on these discussions by dropping your comments and your reactions on the comment section on any of our social media handles when you follow us. All right, we'll be right back just after this short break. Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us up to this time. Next, like I told you, is our discussion segment, and I've been joined by Mr. Victor Sioko, our commentator here in the studio of TAF TV. Welcome to
Thank you, sir.
The news review. All right, we go straight to the headlines for today, and let's get to engage in some of the headlines we read out this morning. Let's start with this headline on Vanguard newspaper. It says $3.27 billion crude lost to thieves in 14 months. Federal government cries out. I mean, it's high time they really release these figures, because here in the South where we are, we see this oil theft happen day in, day out. And, you know, recently the River State governor launched a war against oil thieves, and so far we are beginning to feel some sort of relief from the way our environment was being, damaged by these oil thieves. And so it's high time the federal government cries out about the figure that we lost daily to these thieves. What's your take in all of this?
Okay, it's really, really troubling, because this is the major source of the income of this country.
Yeah.
And it's quite saddening that in a period like this, when the world needs our oil, that we are unable to supply to the numbers that we've been given to bring to the table.
Yeah.
Okay, OPEC increased our quota to 1.75 million barrels per day. But we can only do just a little above 1.2 million barrels per day. And to make it worse, at this time, they just announced as of February that 85% of our production was stolen. 85%.
And that's really sad.
So we're just able to do 15%. Is that what they are telling us? And nothing has been done about it. They're just calling out the terminals that we are having the issues, as in the terminals that the oil theft is really happening on. They mentioned the Bonny, that covers the River State. They mentioned the Focados, Delta State, and Brass of Bayelsa. That these are the major points. Now, what did the minister, although the Buhari, as in President Buhari, gave the mandate just earlier this week that the state minister of petroleum, he's the minister now.
Yeah.
So the state minister of petroleum, Timi Silva, and the MD of NNPC, Kiari, that the two of them should head towards the south, that they should relocate. Same thing that he did, remember, when Boko Haram was really troubling in the northeast, that he moved the head of the military down to so he used same strategy. So right now, Timi Priye is around. In fact, he was at Emoha the other day to see the rate of vandalism that just occurred there. Okay, yes, like you mentioned, the Rivers State government has really tried to reduce the theft. As you can see, black suit has really gone down. But now it's not just about the oil thieves. Now they are saying that it is a criminal, there is a criminal gang.
Yes.
A sophisticated criminal gang. Because the way these guys break through the pipeline nowadays is too sophisticated for just an ordinary thief to handle. And the way they transport these, that many a times they don't even cause major spill.
Yes, they don't. They don't. Just they don't cause major spills as opposed to the way the big oil firms cause a lot of spill.
Yes.
And they neatly do these things, and they go almost unnoticed. And this is because, of course, big and rich political individuals are also involved in this.
Exactly.
We have the military, the uniformed people, security agencies deeply involved into all of this theft.
In fact, they lobby nowadays to get posted to those regions.
To these areas where they can easily do this and then settle people in government to look away from this whole act. And it is high time that, moving the petroleum ministry, as it were, and the NNPC leadership down here is one of the best things. If they can nip this in its bud, man, my brother, things will change for good for us, because in terms of oil production, we are way behind. And that is the effects that we see in the scarcity of petrol and everything that we experience right now. How is it that we've had scarcity of petrol for over 2 months? That's another issue for another day, because there's a whole lot surrounding that is yet to unravel. All right, let's move on. And then moving on, we want to go to APC convention. They are on the news again, and their convention will be holding tomorrow, Saturday, that is. And a lot is going on in the party. And let me take one of the headlines. It says APC chair support swells for consensus. What's your reaction regarding the upcoming convention and all the drama?
The president has come clean to say Abdullahi Adamu, the former governor of Nasarawa State, is his preferred candidate. Okay. He also mentioned another reason. Oh man, there are two major problems happening in APC that will affect the convention if they don't take time. One, there is this part of the Electoral Act that the president has told, or he has relayed to the National Assembly to delete. That made, this topic will be too long. That made, let me try and reduce it.
Yes, of course.
Okay, that made one, an aspirant of Action Congress, Action Alliance rather, went to Umuahia to, he prayed to the judge, he submitted a suit, prayed to the judge that he should delete that part of Electoral Act because it will differentiate public office holders. Remember that particular act stated that if you are a political office holder or an appointee, you should resign your position.
Yes.
A month to the primaries.
Yes.
Not even a month to the general election, a month to the primary. It starts from the primaries.
Yeah.
So, remember, there is some insinuations that the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, wants to come out for a position. They are looking at presidency, they say, but he might trim it down to his gubernatorial aspiration. So, you know what happened when this the judge actually favored the Action Alliance man that came forward, favored and said, okay, that section of the law will be deleted. Malami came forward to say, okay, that they are going forward to delete that section of the. Now the National Assembly came out and said, how dare you?
Stay clear of it.
The presidency just assented on this law everything has been signed, and you, Attorney General, who gave you the power to come out to say you are going to delete this?
We saw that on Nigerian Tribune. Sorry to cut you. It says, reps, political appointees to stay clear of party primaries. INEC to implement Section 84, subsection 12 of Electoral Act.
Yes. So now, trimming it down or just summarizing, the presidency does not want to fall prey to that law. So they have advised every political office holder that wants to come out for this APC convention, that is vying for a position for this APC convention, that they should just stay clear. Just so that this convention will not be null and void. So Abdullahi, the preferred candidate of the president, does not have any issue.
He can run.
He's cleared, fully cleared on that part. Now, the problem in APC right now is some persons are complaining, Mr. Presido, you want a unity list. Aside the chairmanship position, some other positions, persons there are crying that you say that you return our cost of purchasing the form, the monies we spent on purchasing forms.
People that we back down.
Yes, that is not just about purchasing form. One particular candidate or aspirant, he is aspiring for the deputy national chairman. Remember, in the 6 geopolitical zones, they have national chairmen.
Yes.
And they now have the deputy, the secretary, and all the whole geopolitical zones have their positions, just like the general house. So this particular candidate, his name is Sonny Matiefe from Gombe State. He came out to say, Mr. President, I have spent 300 million naira on this mission. I have traveled around my geopolitical zone. He's from the northwest. Canvassing. I've been to Bond. I've been to Gombe State. Canvassing, spending money, calling people to come out. And now you're saying you're just refunding me only for the forms? Mr. President, no, I'm going in. I will fight to the end. So there are many stories like that from different angles. The presidency on its own has, even he called for a meeting that involved the Tinubus, the Amechis. Remember, we still have there's still strong indication that Amechi will be coming out and he has some influences in that, especially from the north side of the country.
Yes, it does.
So they called that meeting. Even the founding members of APC, they were all there. It was a very high-level meeting. We had the likes of Owele Rochas, former governor of Imo State. He's the founding member of APC. We had the BC Akandes was there, and Tinubu were there. So they were trying to find a meeting point. More like, let's all meet at the middle. Okay, who is your preferred candidate? Remember, Buhari is known for consensus. He loves consensus when it comes to party politics. And if you go back to history, when Oyegun was there, Oyegun was brought in through consensus. Adams Oshomole was brought in through consensus. So he's trying to use same pattern to bring in Abdullahi. But this time around, you know why I believe why people are really kicking against him is that this is his last. He's on the last days of his seat of being the president of this country. So they believe that his powers are going down. He cannot force them this time around when they know that he's just some months away from leaving office.
And also, even in this political area, he's just months away from really retiring, because after the presidency, you tend to retire in politics and become a stakeholder in the party, and that's just it. Our godfather, or whatsoever he choose to be. So I think I agree with you. And then also the House of PDP is also, should I say it's shaky? Because we have two strong hands declaring within the last few days for the same seat. That is Atiku and ex-governor Peter Obi. That's the ex-governor of Anambra State. And we are all watching closely to see how this is going to play out in their primaries, because they are also beginning to put their house together for their upcoming, party primaries. What's your take?
My take, PDP will still have same issues like APC.
Yes, I see that happening.
Because these two men that have come out, you have the article. We cannot undermine the power, the financial strength, and the influence that article is coming with. Okay? And we now have the P2B. The P2B is a man that people see him as a saint.
Yeah.
Okay? Personally, I still have my own reservation because of the Pandora Papers that he was
that involved him. Yes.
Although he came out, he was so quick to come out
to clear his name.
But the reasons he gave, personally, I think there is more to that. Okay, but he's a better devil as far as I'm concerned, from my own point of view. Okay, so you can see a man that has passion. Okay, you can see a man that is ready. You can see a man that has plans.
And it's practical.
And so practical.
Very practical.
You can see a man that has a good what do you call it? A good CV, track record. Okay, just look at what happened now. Mr. Obiano that he handed power to, he left over 100 billion.
Yes.
For him.
For a start to.
Yes. Ooh. Brother, international breweries. You know he is the one that brought in that company to Anambra State.
Yes.
International brewery, where we have the Budweiser, where we have the Heroes and the Grand Malt.
Yes. He did so well with Anambra State.
For that state. So his track record is so cool, and he is vibrant. He has the age. Yes. He has the power, the physical power to handle this seat. So you find out yesterday when he declared, there was jubilation. You could feel it in the air. There was jubilation everywhere.
But that's not enough.
That is not enough, my brother. Nigerian politics is very dynamic and difficult.
Much more complex than just being all of this that we just spoke about.
So I pray he should go and consult properly. Because even when you look at it, the whole scenario, mind you, you have the governor's block of the PDP on one side. While you have the article one side, you have the P2B one side. I pray that someone like P2B, he should go to the governor's block. Let them have an understanding. In politics, there should be interests should be protected.
Yes.
If you want to move forward in politics, you have to come together and say, okay, guy, this is your own. Hey, this is your own.
And if they can give him some support, he has a chance.
Yes.
If not, for the man of Atiku, it's quite a battle for Peter, because Atiku is not ready to back down for anybody. From the way he has been speaking, the party has also been trying to tell him that due to our zoning laws and all of that, I don't think he should run. But he has never listened to that, and he has gone ahead to declare. So all of that is what people like Peter Obi, and of course PDP too, they have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Moving as we move slowly towards their convention.
PDP, Peter Obi really needs to work together with the PDP governors, especially when it comes to money.
Yeah.
We already know that if he's able to work well with them, and God willing to him that he becomes the presidential aspirant from the PDP bloc to go against
whoever comes from APC,
which I strongly still think it could be Tinubu because of his power. That if they play the game down to the wire, unless if they go through another corner to eliminate him, but if they go head on, Tinubu should be up there. Remember, just yesterday. Yesterday, he went to Lagos State University, LASU. Yesterday was their convocation ceremony. He went there and he donated 1 billion naira. 1 billion naira to the school. Amazing. My brother, you just be wondering, where did these people bring this money? I had to go down to history lane to find out, how did this man get to this level? Tinubu was just a chief accountant for an oil company. That was his highest role in private sector. And look at down the years after becoming governor.
Joining politics.
He were able to bring out 1 billion naira just for a university. That's
So
to tell you how much this man has behind him.
For him to come out and declare that he wants to run for presidency, so he's ready. And for him to even openly say that this is an ambition for him.
Lifelong ambition.
Yeah, and this is the only one thing left that he hasn't done yet. So, I mean, you can imagine somebody saying it in that way. So he's going to go all out. So whoever is coming against him should be ready for the battle. That's why the House of PDP needs to actually produce a credible and powerful candidate that will be able to stand against Tinubu.
That's the right word.
And then again, Nigerians are also hoping for a change. I think with the bad performance of the APC government within the last 8 years, they may be tilting towards the angle of wanting change. And you know how humans think. They feel PDP might just be the change they need right now, since APC has not been able to deliver to them. And in the past 8 years, it has resulted to, APC will always say that PDP destroyed this country before we took it from them. Okay, so what then did you now do to try and salvage the country? You plunged us further into the depth of, poverty and pain and suffering and misery. So it's going to be an interesting election year come 2023. And we can't wait for us to get there. And that's all we can take today. Thank you very much for always making it here. To our viewers, we urge you to go and get your PVC. Yeah, if you haven't gotten yours, please get your PV so you can actively get involved in the 2023 general elections as we draw really close to it. And of course, if you want to run for offices, go ahead and also declare. Because if you don't participate, we don't get to make any difference. You don't know how much difference you can make. All right, this is all we'll be taking this morning. My name is still William Sabule, and this has been the News Super Review here on TAF TV. Till next time I come your way again, stay well and stay safe.